Hi guys. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday. It's Saturday the 23rd of November. We're coming up on Thanksgiving. Yeah, and I wanted to tell you guys about my crazy day. So I think there's a few lessons learned by me, and I hope that I can possibly shed some light for you and just go through my day basically. So, I am my blood type is O positive, which means I'm a universal donor. I am the most needed blood type when it comes to donation because there's a lot of incidents where people need blood and my type can go to anybody. Um, so I get a lot of messages from the New York Blood Center saying like urgent, urgent, urgent. But recently I've been getting like a lot. So I was like, all right, you know what? I have time because my whatchamacallit, my job is a little bit more flexible. I have school, so I'm not working that 8 to 6, 8 to 7 anymore. But they have some Saturday hours. So I was like, perfect. So I got a text and I called up the blood center. I said, listen, can I come tomorrow morning? Which was this morning. Lady's like, yeah, absolutely. Let's find the most closest location to you and let's get you set up. Cool. In addition to making this appointment, I felt a little under the weather, but you know your body. Like I knew it was just allergies. I wasn't like sick with like a cold or like God forbid like strep throat or something where you need to be on antibiotics. So I was feeling a little headachy, a little like scratchy throat from like postnasal drip. The whole thing. So I took aspirin. My dad was like, just take an aspirin, like it'll like take the edge off. Oh, cool. I don't really take anything ever. So this is the irony. Because this always happens to me. So I took 3 aspirins, so that's like 975 milligrams or something crazy. And I went about my night. The lady had told me on the phone I made the appointment, drink lots of fluids, aka lots of water, and eat a big meal prior to donation. So what didn't I do? Any of that. Okay, so it's the morning of donation and I wake up in a panic. I'm like, oh my god, I took aspirin last night. That's a blood thinner. I'm not gonna be able to donate. So I'm panicking. I'm calling the blood center. I'm like, excuse me, please, someone return my call. Finally, I get in touch with them. They're like, listen, Jessica, you're donating whole blood, not platelets. You're fine that you had the aspirin. I'm like, oh, amazing, great. So if I ever want to donate, or if you ever want to donate platelets, you cannot have aspirin. I think it's like 72 hours, 48 to 72 hours prior to the donation. Okay, great. So now I'm headed to Elmsford for my blood donation. And I've done it before. I've been like, yeah, let's go. Let's get this over with. Cool. So they take my temperature, no fever. Again, you can't donate if you have a fever. However, you can donate if you have alcohol in your blood. So that's kind of ironic. I, believe it or not, did not have any alcohol in my blood. So, they pricked my finger. Can you see it? Light's super bad. There's like a little dot. They pricked my finger to test my iron, and it was fine. But the finger prick freaks me out, but the needle, I like, am like, whatever. I don't know what it is with that finger prick. It's like, ooh, stings. So did the finger prick, everything was good. They're like, okay, you can go take a seat over here and we're gonna get someone set up. Cool. So the lady puts the little thing in. You can see my little dot there. And it's fine, but it's flowing. Like, they're like, whoa. They're like, don't squeeze. Like, you have to squeeze every 5 to 10 seconds. Like, don't squeeze too much. I'm like, all right, whatever. You're the expert. So I'm chilling, I'm talking to them. Really nice people. We're getting along well. And like 5 minutes, they're like, yeah, you're good. I'm like, I'm good? Like, it takes the average person like 20-25 minutes. Like, why did it just take me 5 minutes to donate a pint of blood? Like, that's kind of scary. Like, if I fell and this was just coming out of me from like an injury, like, So I thought maybe it was the aspirin because my blood was thinner. Could be a number of things. So like, how do you feel? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. So they walk me over to this little back section where they have food and apple juice, sugar. Well, that was scary. Um, so I'm having some apple juice, or I hadn't even opened it yet, actually, excuse me. And they put it in front of me. And there was a few other donors, and they were like, "Oh, like, have you donated before, Jessica?" I was like, "Yeah, I have." They're like, "You were super fast." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you know how we do." I was like walking around like I own the place. So I was like, "Yeah, I've donated before, but I have felt dizzy in the past. Never fainted though." So as I'm saying dizzy, this wave of dizziness comes over my body, and then I open my eyes, and there's 10 faces staring at me, and they're going, "Jessica, Jessica, do you know where you are?" And I'm like, um, I'm like, what happened? I'm like, did I have a heart attack? Like, what? I'm like, I'm at the blood donation center, but like in my head, I'm like, did I just have a car accident? Like, where am I? I thought I was in heaven, which I really hope heaven, the entry to heaven is not this confusing, because I was very confused. Well, fingers crossed I get to heaven. But, yeah, it was weird. So, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm at the blood donation center. And they're like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "My name is Jessica." And I feel so nauseous. I'm like, "Did I hit my head?" They're like, no, we caught you. Like, you started to go back in the chair. I'm like, "Oh, okay, good." But, like, what? Like, I fainted? This is my first time fainting. So, I'm worried. Like, it's a scary thing. Like, you live your whole life not having any medical problems that, like, you just kind of feel like you're invincible. Like, you don't ever think about there's gonna be a time where I won't be able to control my body, or like, I'm at an age where I can do things, but there's gonna be a time where I won't be able to do those anymore. So it's like a moment of like, wow, we actually don't own our bodies. Like, they can do whatever they want, whenever they want. So they sat me up, and I was being like a little bit difficult. I was like, "No, 5 more minutes. Like, I can't." I was like delirious. I was like, "Oh, not yet, not yet." They got me into this bed, and I'm chilling. I'm like posting it on my Snap story, my Insta story, because I need attention, and this is a great opportunity for attention. So, post it up, and yeah, I'm feeling good. They're like, "You want to come, walk over to the thing and maybe have some apple juice now and some cookies?" I'm like, bet. So I go over there, and all of a sudden, I feel it, and I'm like, I put my head down, and everything goes black. And I open my eyes. Like, it wasn't a full faint, but they're like, "Jessica, we need to get you back in that bed." I'm like, "Not again. Like, this is deja vu. Like, these people think I'm a rookie." It's like, bring me over to the bed. And I'm there for like 30 minutes, and here we go again. I go back over to the thing, and they're like, "All right, you should get someone to drive you home." But so happened that my mom wasn't feeling well that day, so my dad was taking care of her, and I didn't want to call him, and it's like 25 miles away, and I'm like, I'm fine to drive. Like, I really feel okay now. I'm having the cookies, having some juice. They gave me like Diet Coke to get some caffeine. Like, we're doing everything and anything. But I'm gonna pause for a second, because this is where I messed up. I had a granola bar this morning for 100 calories. I drank a quarter of this. This is a half pint. This is 8 fluid ounces. I think they want you to have a lot more than this prior to donation. Like, you're supposed to be drinking, I think, a gallon a day. Maybe I'm wrong, but like, you're supposed to be drinking a lot of water a day, and I don't. I just don't drink a lot of water, and it's bad. So that's where I was wrong. And I took the aspirin, which probably did not help. So the lady was like, when you donate blood, which I knew this, like, you're burning like almost 500 calories. So if you start the day at only 100, and now you've burned 500, plus you're down a pint of blood, yeah, you're gonna pass out. And you have no water, so you're dehydrated. Like, it only makes sense. Like, it would have been weird if I didn't. But I didn't think this through, because I thought I could do anything. So I go back to the table, and I'm having the cookies, and I'm having the juice, and I said, "Look, I'm ready to go. I'm fine. I am ready to drive." So I get home, I get out of my car, and my mom's like, she had texted me, "Don't come up the stairs. Daddy's going to get you from the bottom and walk you up, because God forbid you fall or faint or whatever on the stairs. We don't want you falling down the stairs." Okay, fair. So I was like, I'm gonna allow that. So I get there, and he's at the top of the stairs, I'm at the bottom. I'm like, yeah, I'm really feeling fine. And then everything went black, and I'm holding the banister, and I'm like bringing myself to the ground, and then I open my eyes, and I'm in my dad's arms. And he's like, you just fainted into my arms. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's concerning, because I just drove 30 miles. I think, from what the trend seems to be, it's like when I get up and physically stand up, that it hits me. So it's like the like shock, I guess, of that major change. So he got me into my room, I got into my bed, and I was there for like an hour. And then I went downstairs, and everyone had been telling me you gotta eat. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat something. So I go into the freezer and I take out like some frozen food, and everything starts going black and fuzzy, and I start to bring myself down to the ground, and I go into the living room, I sit on the couch, and my dad's like, all right, this is getting a little bit scary now. And I was like, thank you, sir. I feel the same way. So I started to drink water. I had 2 of these. So I had a pint of water, which is equivalent to the amount of blood I donated in terms of surface area. So I had 2 of these, and I started to have some peanut butter pretzels, even though I was so full. Like, and I am never full, but I was so full. Like, I thought of food was not the move, but I knew I needed protein and calories, so I was having these like peanut butter filled pretzels, and I started to feel better. So anyway, since that point, I have not felt faint or fainted, but I've definitely felt weak for the rest of the day. And I think it was just a big lesson in terms of capabilities and trusting your body and listening to your body, and not thinking you can just do anything, because it could be a risk to not only you, but a lot of other people. So, I'm donating blood for someone in need, but, I don't want to become the next person that's in need of it, because I've gotten into a car accident and, God forbid, hurt someone else. So, yeah, I mean, the moral of the story is I will donate again, but I'm going to do a few things different next time. I'm not going to take aspirin, like, ever again. If I take it, I'm not taking it within 48 hours, 72 hours of donating blood. Gonna eat a sufficient meal. I'm talking like a minimum of 500 calories. You have to have that morning. If you're counting calories, like myself, you get a day off for that. I'm gonna have a significant amount of water, at least like 5 or 6 of these that day, and like probably 5 or 6 of these the day before. Don't waste all the plastic. Like, just get a reusable water bottle. I'm just trying to show you comparisons. And then you'll be good. And also have somebody that brings you there, so you don't have to drive home, because it's not worth it. So it's the holidays, and it's the busiest time of year for blood, and they need it. So if you can donate, you can save up to 3 lives of 1 donation, and it's used. They use it, and they need it. And this is the biggest shortage they've ever had. So if you donate blood regularly, thank you. If you're thinking about doing it, don't be scared. They're experts, and they're there to help you, and they will guide you. But the biggest thing is listen. Listen to them, and listen to your body. And together we can save lives. So, on that note, everyone have a nice Thanksgiving. I am going to go to bed after I write this paper, and I am never going to put myself through this again.